Hey everyone, this is Ryder from Skip. I hope you're doing well. It's Friday, August 14th, and I have a very quick update on the latest on the stimulus discussions, both from the White House perspective and the Democrats' perspective. And I'm going to talk about the news today that Trump asked the Treasury Department to start printing stimulus checks. I'm going to also talk about COVID news briefly and some EIDL news that came out today in Politico. Okay, let's dive in. Thanks as always for watching our quick video updates, supporting us all week, leaving comments, and subscribing. It means so much to us. And please, if there's anything you have questions about or are interested in hearing more about, please leave a comment. Okay, let's dive in. From the Treasury website, earlier this week, Steve Mnuchin posted this. This was actually a formal press release, even though it's about 3 sentences long, but I'm going to read it to you because it's important in terms of tone. He says, earlier today, Speaker Pelosi and I spoke on the phone. This was Wednesday. Her statement is not an accurate reflection of our conversation. She made clear that she was unwilling to meet to continue negotiations unless we agreed in advance to her proposal, costing at least $2 trillion. The administration is willing to move forward with legislation that allows for substantial funds for schools, childcare, food, vaccines, hospitals, PPP, for small businesses, rental assistance, etc. Again, this is the blame game. Nothing new here. I shared in the video yesterday, Pelosi did a presentation yesterday morning about how far apart they were from the Republicans and why what was in the Democratic proposal is so important. Okay, so nothing new here, but Mark Meadows did say today that they were willing to go a bit higher, potentially up to $1.5 trillion. It's still this back and forth, this numbers game, and officially today, according to Mitch McConnell, the Senate is now on recess. They are not required to come back until September 8th or earlier if a deal is reached. Okay, September 8th, that's a couple weeks away. They won't have to come back for a couple weeks unless a deal is reached. Meanwhile, Trump tweeted this today that he said he had directed Steve Mnuchin to get ready to send direct payments to all Americans. Democrats are holding this up to basically get the stimulus checks ready, even though most are direct deposit. So it's kind of funny. Both sides do want a deal, but like I hypothesized on earlier this week, some of this may be part of the re-election strategy, right? Wait a few more weeks, have it be closer to elections or mail-in ballots, and so you get a check in the mail that says Trump's name on it. I'm sure that's part of their strategy. But this is what he tweeted out. And even today, during a White House press briefing, he said, I'm waiting for the Democrats to approve it. All right, briefly on EIDL news, Politico published this today. That's why I wanted to share it. They basically underline what I've been saying for 2 weeks now about the importance of more EIDL funding. That's been talked about for a while. In fact, as they point out here, House Democrats proposed $10 billion for EIDL grants in the $3 trillion package they passed 90 days ago. So there was money in that. So there was money for the EIDL grants in that last bill. And then, of course, Jackie Rosen and John Cornyn proposed $100 billion now 3 weeks ago, and that's what we've been writing in about, pushing for. And many senators have gotten on board to support this. And this article from Politico just emphasizes the importance of funding for the EIDL program. Here's a quote from Rosen. More work needs to be done by SBA to ensure that the program runs smoothly and provides funding to small businesses in a timely manner. It's good to see that more news outlets are talking about this issue. Basically, get it out there, get more support. Many senators have supported this. In the letter I talked about last week, there are no new co-sponsors of the bill, and there's no new progress in the Senate because they're all home right now. Again, it's still a frustrating waiting game, but at least it's still being talked about. Finally, on COVID news, here's where we are. This is the current map of hotspots across the country. Still the same patterns we've seen for most of July and now the first 2 weeks of August. The South still has lots of hotspots. And California yesterday passed 600,000 confirmed cases. If California was a country, they'd be the 5th highest in the world in terms of infections. Here is the U.S. trends. We saw a dip from the peak end of July. We've been averaging around 50,000 cases over the past week. It has plateaued in terms of the decline. past few days. Let's see what happens over the weekend and next week. Obviously, this is still way, way, way too high, and the death rate still has gone up. Some of you yesterday asked about more context in terms of deaths, and our deaths number is back to where we were end of May, and that's when New York was still peaking. So we're still seeing a lot of deaths, including a couple days ago, over 1,500 deaths. So that's the latest news. As always, thanks for your support. Please stay well and stay healthy. Take care.